Genevieve and Zoolander, take one, action.
All right, there we go right here. Thank you very much.
You were so welcome.
All right. Okay, and let's before I do this whole intro thing, here's what we'll do. We'll play some songs. Now, I have no idea what kind of music my guest likes, or I have a bit of an idea.
Okay.
But we're going to just go with what I think is cool.
I'll judge you for judging me, because if I don't like it, then we'll see.
Yeah, I feel that all the way. Nice talking to you. This was great. All right, so
Thank you.
So here we go right here. Without further ado, let's give him a little Victoria Monet. All right. Okay.
Karaoke.
Yeah. All right, let me bring that down a little bit. All right, here we go. Let me get right into
That was
this.
a good. You know what? That was a good vibe.
That was a good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I appreciate that. Then you can stay.
I judge people off their music taste. I do.
Oh, it matters. Well, you know what? As I continue to get older and creep through my 30s, like I think what's happening is, my tastes have gotten more subdued. And even though I like to turn up and stuff, and obviously with what you do, oftentimes incorporate music into your business and your classes that you teach. Like at times, there's a big difference between what I want to hear in the club, what I want to hear in the gym, and what I want to hear when I'm driving by myself.
1000%. You know what gives me so much anxiety is when somebody's driving in my car and I have to play music. I'm like, oh shit, I don't know. Will they like it? Will they judge me?
Right. Well, to build on what you're saying, what gives me anxiety is when I want to trust my playlist, kind of like when people say trust the process, so you can make that a t-shirt or something, but trust the playlist.
Love it.
And you want to trust the playlist to get you where you need to go. But then when you have those judging eyes on you, you automatically go from, let me put it on shuffle to let me manually switch the songs.
Yes.
Because you lose confidence.
Or when one is like hitting, like you're like, this is my jam, and then it's not resonating with them.
Oh, it sucks all the energy out the car.
I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, don't you like this song? Wait, what?
Like, yeah, like what's wrong with you? Like,
you're like, I give up.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead. I'll do it like this. Okay, here we go. Yo, what do they call me? They call me Devin Zoolander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yeah, they call me Devin Zoolander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I look good on camera.
Okay.
You know I look good on camera. Here we go. Let's get an intro right here. All this stuff is an intro. It's a really long intro. Come on, give me something real quick. Okay, here we go right here. I need a beat real quick. There we go right there. Something really mellow and subdued. That's what happens when you are about at middle age, because 35 is right there, and there you are, and you are 35. And according to Instagram, my key demographic age-wise is 25 to 34. But just recently, I aged out of 25 to 34. So now but I don't feel like going to arts, and I don't want to party with you old guys. But I also know that there are some other people
you name Jeff Arts.
You can't. Yeah. Shout out to Arts, even though I've never been there. But yeah, so let me do this real quick. Here we go. All right, I think I'm ready. I think I'm warmed up now.
Here we go.
So here we go. Okay, here we go. Yo, what's up? It's your homie, Devin Zoolander, coming all the way live from my domicile. And today is a very special privilege because I have with me someone that I've always thought was a beautiful person on the outside. But what I've learned from observing her Instagram and not getting caught up on her Facebook and not getting caught up on being left on red is that she has so much more to offer than just the physical aesthetic that we see before you. But there is a lot of layers to this woman. She is the definition of an onion. And no, it's not just the light-skinned onion. No, it's not just the biracial onion. And no, it's not just the bun in her hair. It's just like she's everything. She's wonderful. So right here, sitting to my right, I am so pleased to bring to you a woman that is multi-layered, multifaceted. Her name is, before I tell you her name, she is the co-owner and trainer at Club Elevate, right? Yep. Elevate PGH on Instagram. Mm-hmm. She also is the host of a podcast called Self Love Babe. She is a loving person. She is proud of all sides of her heritage. She is also a mother. She is someone that is just a badass woman. That is someone that we all need to just respect and treat her accordingly. So without further ado, please put your hands together for the one and only Genevieve Jackson.
Whoop. Oh, I love that. Thank you, everybody. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. As we slowly fade the music into oblivion. All right, so...
If I can have that intro every time I walk into a room, I'd be so, like...
That would be
happy.
fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I feel quite honored.
Oh, yeah. It's an honor, and I appreciate that. And it's likewise an honor to have you here because we talked about it. There's Club Elevate. There is Self-Love Babe. There's a lot of things. But before we get started, let's start with kind of like an icebreaker. So I want to ask you, if you could have any superpower in the world, what would that superpower be and why?
I'm a big fan of X-Men, so I've thought about this thoroughly many, many times.
Okay.
Oh, man. Or is it when you disappear and can go into another place? What is that called?
Sorry.
What is that called? It's called something. Teleportation.
Teleportation.
Yes, yeah. And I used to have a plan when I was younger because I used to be obsessed with X-Men, still am, but that I would teleport and like rob all the banks and then be super rich. So teleportation is a major key because then you can travel that way as well. Okay,
now I have to ask you though, with teleportation, because I'm trying to keep going where you're going. You're in the bank. You have your eyes set on all the banks with the most assets in the world because that's how you try and get rich. Now with the teleportation, how would you deal with the cameras, the security cameras? We got to think it out.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I would just, I guess, put a mask over my face.
Okay. So you got the mask over your face.
Gloves as well, no fingerprints.
Right. Now, okay, so to continue to delve into this hypothetical situation here where we live in a land where people have superpowers and we're like mutants. I have to, although you kind of are like a mutant because, you know, you're strong and you got all this going on. But anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm glad we identified that you actually are a real live X-Men. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on blast. I hope the government leave you alone. But
don't call me.
Right. Now, with you having the teleportation powers, now I'm wondering what if someone said they wanted like super speed? I think what's interesting about all this is that you can't have all of it. And I think to get semi-serious here, I think what's interesting is like, you know how LeBron, he can do pretty much everything except he doesn't shoot free throws as well.
I didn't know that because I'm not a basketball fan, but it's good to know.
Right. Well, I'm glad. Thank you very much for being a part of this anyway. She's killing me. Okay, that's enough.
So he doesn't shoot free throws?
No, he doesn't shoot free throws.
That's his kryptonite.
Right, that's his kryptonite.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that if I asked you if you could only have one, and I think what this can lead us into is a conversation about how we are often comparing ourselves to other people that have things that we apply the grass is greener on the other side type of thinking. So I want to say from just that little exercise and what superpower you would have, how do you recognize the limitations to your powers, even though you have a superpower, but there might be limitations if you don't have another superpower? And how do you work with the superpowers that God, or if you're not religious, that you have naturally in you? And how do you navigate? Okay, this is a kind of, all right. Hold on.
I know where you're going with
All right,
this.
good. Well, go ahead. You handle it because I've got lost.
Now, I was going to say, leading off of that, I can kind of interpret where you're going with that.
Thank you.
I don't even, to be real, I don't even think like that. Like, it's kind of like I marinate the things that I do possess, and I try not to even think about what I don't. And if I do have something that I don't have, I think about how I can get it. Because I feel like when we fixate on the things that we aren't capable of, or I can never get there, I can never do that, then self-hate seeps the fuck in, And I don't even let that shit touch me for real. So I set myself up for success mentally every single time. Like, I check all the fucking boxes. You have to. So I'm like, all right, cool. I only get one superpower. I'm not even thinking about the other motherfucking superpowers because my superpower is the very best one because I picked it, okay? And because I have it.
All right, well done, and that's that on that. I respect that so much, and I'm glad that when you're dealing with a fellow podcaster, they can see kind of where you're going. But it's just like we're in the house now, and we've been fumbling around for the light switch for a minute now, and I can't find it. Can somebody please turn the damn flashlight on? So thank you very much for being there for me. Now let's get a little bit into your history a little bit. First of all, I want you to tell me where you're from, what high school did you go to, what activities were you involved in?
Born and raised in Pittsburgh, which is like kind of embarrassing. I don't know.
Oh shit.
Like I feel, no, I mean like I rep Pittsburgh. Like I love it. It's great. I've lived here my whole life, but I'm embarrassed in the sense that like I can say that I've lived a couple other places, but it would be cool to like go somewhere else and then come back. And then that's really a true Pittsburgher, to be like, okay, I fully lived somewhere else and then I came back. But yeah, born and raised in Pittsburgh. I went to Kappa High School, the Performing Arts High School downtown, for music. I played the flute. And then I went to Slippery Rock for college, for public relations. But so that's a little bit about my background. So music it's funny that I just mentioned music, but music is so intertwined in my life. Like I just love music is everything to me.
Okay. Well,
I don't play the flute anymore, which actually I did whip it out a couple weeks ago for my daughter, but,
there you go.
But I don't do that anymore, but music just in terms of like in my life. I'm like, music. I have to be listening to music. I meet people who don't listen to music, and I'm like, so something's wrong with you.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I wanted to know, did you play the flute at your audition for Kappa?
Yeah, yeah. I went to a private school, and everybody there was just so like had their nose stuck up in the air, and especially in terms of like music and things. It was like an extracurricular, and they had been probably practicing since they were whatever years old, and their parents make them practice all the time, and my parents are a lot more liberal, and so I just did it because I wanted to do it. I did it because I liked it. And so we got into this thing. I got inducted into this thing called Honors Band. I tried out for it, but I remember just everybody was so pretentious about it. And then I got like first chair, and everyone, just because my personality is nonchalant, I'm like, whatever, yeah, I'm here, I'm good at this. And these people tried super, super hard, which I'm not saying I didn't try, because I did, but it just came organically and naturally. But so I said I was going to Kappa, and everybody's like, yeah, right, you can't do that, like doubt it or whatever. Just like, okay. So anyways, yeah, I got in. Yeah.
Well, I know that probably felt pretty good when you got in.
Yeah, it felt great. And also too, a lot of my friends were going for musical theater and like theater. I'm just like to go to the beat of my own drum, and I could have gone for that, but I was like, I want to go for something else, so I just practiced really hard and went for flute.
Now, you mentioned earlier that music is very important to everything you do in life. What songs you play when you wake up your daughter, what songs you play when you put your daughter to sleep, what songs you play when you're in the car, when you're teaching a class in the gym. So what I would like for you to share with us is, what song, artist, album are you currently fixated on?
Shoot.
I know it's hard to narrow it down.
Recently I've been pulling it back out Alicia Keys a lot. She was like one of my favorites forever. But Kanye is my favorite artist, like hands down. Always has been. I mean, we've been through some like trials and tribulations because of his like Donald Trump shit or whatever. And it was a little rocky there for a minute.
When he did the Donald Trump thing, it was like,
and he was real passionate about it. Gotta be passionate about something, I guess.
Right.
But no, he's definitely my top tier. But I don't know, my music choices change. Like you had mentioned, I like a lot of rap, like Rick Ross, Meek are some of my favorite rappers. But
got you.
But in terms of like, I like a lot of R&B. Jill Scott is one of my favorite artists. So it depends on my mood, and my mood is always different. So Michael, I just did the Spotify Wrapped, and it was like one of my top songs was Michael Jackson. So it's like,
right.
I played it like, I don't know, some absurd amount of times. So.
It's just your mood. I feel you. Well, for me, I think I like I like rap. I like hip. It's funny. I hate saying this because anytime somebody says they like rap, they always sound like this some old white Republican or something like that. I like rap. I like black people. I voted for Obama. It's just like, wait.
I don't say the N-word when I sing the song.
Right. And it's like, I am black. Why do I sound like I should? You shouldn't sound like this if you actually are. But no, I mean, whatever. But I definitely like my rap. I like my hip hop. But I would say that it's something about R&B that connects with me differently, because this isn't necessarily the music podcast, but just to here's what we're going to do right here, because I got to bring you a little bit into my world. So there is an artist by the name of Mac Ayres who is out of New Jersey, and he's insanely talented. I think there is like the texture of his voice, like the tone, the way he takes his time when he puts out projects, and they always sound great. I think it's something that is slept on in this microwave era of everything in mass production. So there's one song in particular that he has called Almost Home. And I like the song Almost Home because he kind of describes that, something is off about this place where I'm at right now. And now I'm driving and I feel like somebody's following me, but it's okay because I'm almost home. And if I'm at a place that I really don't like that much, then it's cool because I won't stay too long, but I'm almost home. So anyway, I'm going to play Almost Home for you just because the vibe just puts me right where I need to be. I'm almost home. I just like that one a lot because I like to play it essentially when I'm pretty much almost home, because it feels like, something feels wrong. Won't stay too long. Something feels wrong, but I'm almost home. And I like that because I feel like he talks about somebody is in his mirror and everything like that. And I think that you can turn that into a metaphor.
1,000%.
Yeah. For like what haven't you addressed in your past that still continues to haunt you and be in your mirror as you try to drive forward in your life?
Mm-hmm. I see it as it's him back there,
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like maybe his negativity or his past, one of his past selves or whatever, and he's moving on from that chapter or whatever. I always see things selfishly in that way, meaning like any problem we ever have, most of the times we point fingers that it's, oh, this has happened or this happened or it's this person that's making me feel like this, when it's all internal. So that's why I always go that route.
Right. And I like what you did there because I think you restored the agency back to the person to have control over your own life, as opposed to acting as if life is happening to you. But it's like, well, life could happen to you or you could make things happen. And I will say, though, that we're all in different stages of our mental health and mental health journeys. So I recognize that sometimes if we can talk from a position of privilege and arrogance, where it's like, look, I do this and I do that, and y'all gotta get like me. So I guess to throw it back to you, so let's talk about Club Elevate and all of the clients that you work with. They like what you do. They like the service that you and your other co-owner of the business. Oh, and what was the other co-owner's name?
Oh, John.
John. Okay, so they like what you and John consistently do. However, how do you be the person that helps to motivate your clients to get the most out of their bodies that they can, but also do it in a way that recognizes that they might not be at your level and the things that you say to them can impact them either in the positive or the negative?
I like that question. Fitness to me is very vulnerable. It's very raw, right? And in order to get to the place where you're like, all right, I want to work out, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter if it's mental, physical, whatever. You're going to be bad at something. So, it's new to you. It's brand new. So you have to kind of get to a place of vulnerability where you're like, I'm going to fuck up. I'm going to mess up. I'm not going to be great at this. And that's okay. And I think that's, the fear that it stops a lot of people from beginning because they're not perfect. I remember back in the day, I fluctuated weight often my entire life. But I remember being like, I can't go to the gym because I need to work out in order to go to the gym, because I was uncomfortable in my body. So I was like, well, in order, because use LA Fitness for an example, like those people all look great. They're all like bench pressing, all that shit, squat racks, all that stuff. They look, how you would think somebody that goes to LA Fitness looks, but has to start somewhere. So I had to kind of change my mentality about that and just go to the gym and get out of my own skin and get out of my own way. And I think that that's how I want to resonate with my clients as well. It's like, just come as you are. There's nobody here to judge you. There's nobody here to, tell you you're doing wrong. It's funny, I took this class before and this kind of paved the way for how I wanted to teach, but It was this big class, and then the instructor said, like, whoever stops, like, because of you, we're gonna have to do 10 more push-ups or 10 more whatever. And it was like, that was my first class that I had started. It was like my journey of like trying to get in shape. So I had stopped in the class, and and I already felt uncomfortable in my skin. I was already feeling fearful to be there. I was already feeling insecure. I was already feeling, whatever in my skin. And the instructor was like, "Oh, she's stopping," and pointing to me. It's like, because of her, everybody has to do like, 20 more or whatever. I remember being like mortified, really pissed, because I'm pretty confident, but I was like more so pissed, like, fuck you. But I remember that, and I never want to do that, like in my classes. So even if I see somebody in my class doing it not really great, I literally go up to them, I'm like, "You're fucking doing a great job," and you know how good that feels to somebody. And I make sure to say everybody's name, because it's important to me that you're there, and to feel important, to feel seen, to feel heard is important. And so that's how I want you to feel in my class, and confident. I would say the number one thing I want you to feel is confident in my class, and I hope it comes off that way. I don't know if I answered your question.
I'm trying to remember what my question was. I think you did answer it. I believe I asked you about how you are able to kind of keep people built up, like still, because you have that passion. You and John, y'all both got the passion as far as you went through the training. You got certified, license, and all that stuff, and you are who you are. You've achieved that. But at the same time, there are others that look to you. Maybe it's like a mixture of admiration / hope. So it's admiration for the achievements that you and John have made respectively, but also hope that you can help me to reach my peak fitness level. So I think what you did was you kind of addressed how your approach is with all of you. And obviously I know that some people, kind of like a coach, because you in that sense you are a coach, like you understand that sometimes you have to deal with different people differently.
Yeah, fitness to me is mental. If I'm I work out for my mental health, and then the physical follows. Whenever I found my passion and love for fitness, it didn't have to do with, well, of course, like there's some vanity in it, but that wasn't my leading force. It was really like, I'm fucking angry. You know what I mean? I'm really pissed at the world, and I want to do something that's gonna use that to my benefit. So instead of letting it I went through this big life change, but instead of letting it, erode my fucking soul, I'm going to use it as a tool to better myself. And so I started boxing, I started running, I started going to the gym. And then ironically, I started to look better, I guess, in some people's eyes. But so I think to me, fitness starts out as mental.